This is a barracks room in the barracks for Charlie Company, 44th Engineer Battalion, 2nd Infantry Division. And I was put in this room with a guy who was getting chaptered out, and he left a bunch of junk in there, that box and that bag, and a bunch of junk in that bookshelf, and all that junk on that table there, the computer, and all this other junk. So I got put in the room with him, and he had left that there. He was already gone by the time I videoed this, and I just came back from a funeral the night before. I had gotten to Korea and did my in processing, and then I was in this room for about 2 nights before I had to go to the funeral. And this was probably the first day back, first morning back. All that junk there was his. So the time is wrong. The date's wrong. This is February 26th, I'm sure, in the morning. And I'd just gotten back the night before from the funeral, coming back from the States. So I hadn't settled in just yet. This is how the room was when I got in. And this is the barracks on top of the hill. It's from what I can see on Google Maps, it's still there. It was the highest barracks while we were there, and all those buildings in the background are gone now. This is looking to the north, and those are two motor pools. The first one, the closest one, I believe was for first platoon, and the one in the back, I believe, was for the MPs. I think we had an MP company on Camp Howze. Camp Howze at the time was the engineer brigade for the 2nd Infantry Division. That's where their headquarters was located, and 44th Engineer Battalion was on Camp Howze. Those were the two. Well, 44th Engineers was the main group of people on Camp Howze, and then I think there was an MI detachment and an MP company, and some of the medics and stuff. But it was pretty small by the time I was there. I think just over a battalion's worth of people, so maybe 500 people, maybe six. That's looking towards my platoon's motor pool, which was A&O, Assault and Obstacles. It was over there in that direction. And then on this ledge here, from what I understand, is there was Quonset huts, and this was for communications back in the '60s. That's where they were. That's where they were at. Someone, I'm sure someone who knows more than me can comment in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you guys who've been there in the past. I really love Camp Howze. I love the history of it, and I used to walk around a lot and just try to imagine what it was like in the past. I think I found out that this building was built in the late '70s or mid '80s. But yeah, it was probably one of the nicer barracks on Camp Howze. They were doing a lot of renovation on barracks all over Camp Howze, and then so this was 2000. They closed Camp Howze in 2004. So they did all this work on these buildings and then just tore them all down. But that's looking to the north, and I was really amazed with the zoom of this camera. I got the camera just before I went to Korea to take with me to Korea, and I was just really amazed with the zoom. So I'm zooming in all the time. But that road took us up to TDC in Camp Casey. That's where we'd catch the bus, the military bus that would take us up there. So if we wanted to go to the big PX, we'd get on the bus and go up there. You know, Camp Howze only had a shopette, and that was about it. So if we really need to go to a PX, I'd either go there or Yongsan. Yongsan had a bigger PX. And if you really wanted to go shopping, you'd go down to Osan, to the Air Force Base. I think I went down there a couple times, but I actually wound up going into the village next to Osan. I didn't really go to the BX. That's looking over that hill, would have been in Camp Edwards somewhere, or not that hill, but this hill right here over in that direction would have been Camp Edwards. So that room, that door went into the next room, and then behind this other door on the right there, would have been the latrine, and that's what you would share with the person in the next room over. I think I was just looking at how tall the ceiling was here. I don't know why I was filming that. But yeah, I'm about to go to March. After I'd been in the room for a little while and got it a little more straightened up, and the guy, he left all of his junk in there, and then one day a private came in and said that he wanted to mail it to this guy. And so he took it out of the room, and I never saw it again. I don't know what happened to it. Maybe he mailed it, maybe he didn't. But That bookshelf, I have no idea how I got in there. That was not, I don't believe that was an issued bookshelf for all the rooms. That was the only room I saw that had a bookshelf like that. But typically, you'd have two desks, two beds, and a little refrigerator. I don't even think I had two chairs in that room. But yeah, this is after I had it set up for myself. But E6 and 5 typically had a room to themselves, and E4 and below had to share a room. But this is what a typical room looked like in that building.